as we listen attentively to what you want to pass across to us. Once again, I welcome you. Thank you.
A round of applause again for the VC. I hereby call on Engineer Omu-Aran for the presentation of for the reading of the citation of the presenter.
The Vice Chancellor, sir, the Dean College of Engineering, Engineer Professor C.O. Sweke. Though my assignment here today is simple, just to read the citation of the guest speaker. But, sir, I want to say this before I proceed with the reading of the citation. That the guest speaker of today, I happen to know him about 15 years ago when I was an undergraduate student in Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, Omu-Aran, when he taught us from 200 level through to 500 level. And I'm so glad to be here today to read the citation. Then the question to the queens and the kings in the house is that maybe in the nearest future, will you also be proud to have us maybe to read our citation? So that is the question to you. So I proceed. By the permission of the Vice Chancellor, sir, I humbly request the guest speaker, Engineer Dr. Adekunle, to please step forward while I read your citation, sir. Engineer Dr. Adekunle was born at Ede in Osun State of Nigeria. Was formerly working with Renault Construction Company, RCC, during the construction of Ogbomoso-Ilorin Expressway before joining Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, Ogbomoso, Oyo State, in the Department of Mechanical Engineering as an academic staff, and later proceeded to the Department of Mechatronics, Federal University Oyo Ekiti State, Nigeria, as a senior lecturer. He had his B.Tech degree in mechanical engineering at the Department of Mechanical Engineering at Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, Ogbomoso, Oyo State in 1999, and thereafter proceeded to the Federal University of Technology, Akure in Ondo State for his M.Engine Mechanical with a PhD grade of 3.73, which made him to pursue his academic career at the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, FUNAB, Ogun State. He graduated from Mechanical Engineering Department of FUNAB with a grade of 73.3% aggregate. Thank you. In production option, and he specializes in the area of artificial intelligence and mechatronics. An enthusiastic holder of doctorate degree in production engineering. Our guest speaker is registered with Council for Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria. He is a member of Nigeria Society of Engineers, corporate member of Robotics and Automation Society, corporate member of South Asia Institute of Science and Engineering, corporate member of American Association of Science and Technology, corporate member of International Association of Engineers, corporate National Society of Black Engineers, NSB, and fellow Institute of Policy Management. He possesses the ability to work well under pressure and meeting tight schedule. The guest speaker today was the pioneer HOD of mechatronics and served on 3 terms before his current appointment as the Director of Top-Up and Conversion Unit. He is a member of Faculty Board of Examiners in the Faculty of Engineering and a member of Senate of Federal University of Oyo Ekiti State, Nigeria. The guest speaker of today has attended many international conferences and has been reviewing for many international journals. His research interests are the areas of computer-aided engineering, automation, robotics, artificial intelligence, manufacturing engineering, machine tools, production operation management, and knowledge-based expert system. It will interest you to know that Dr. Adekunle has over 15 years experience as a lecturer and administrator in the university. He is an assiduous worker, a motivator, and innovator an academic achiever. He has contributed to infrastructural development and maintenance, academic curriculum development, staff development, and capacity building programs. As a Aruda scholar and prolific writer, he has a great wealth of experience, which culminated into over 50 academic publications in international journals. Can we please clap around for the speaker? Peer-reviewed conference proceeding and technical reports. He has supervised 6 master's students, 8 PhD students, and over 50 undergraduate students to his credit. He has an excellent personality with stable emotion and physique. He has also served creditably well in many university committees. Engineer Dr. Adekunle is happily married with wonderful family. The Vice Chancellor, the Dean College of Engineering, I present to you our today's guest speaker, Engineer Dr. Adekunle AA.
Thank you very much. It is a real privilege to be here today. It's a great honor to stand before my co-supervisor for my PhD, Professor of TMA, Professor. I think speaking before him today is not the first time, because while I was defending my PhD, he was there. And the little we were given, we brushed it up, and that's what takes us to this level today. Thank you, sir. This is the first College of Engineering Week public lecture being delivered today. The title is Engineering, a Panacea for Food Security. And then when we say engineering, I know it's not a new thing to us, and all of us can understand what engineering is. The Vice Chancellor, sir, Engineer Professor T.M. Adeniyi Badikashin Olayanju. Is my co-father. So I'm his son. I can even give you his oriki. But I won't put that one today. All protocols duly and well observed. Without wasting our time. Greetings to everybody here, sirs and mans. First and foremost, permit me to deliver this very short address or lecture. Not that I don't want to spend more than necessary time with us here. But the point is, we are having the first inaugural lecture in our school today. And everybody is supposed to be there. I am even one of the planning committee members. So, at the same time, we are having JAM exam today, and one of the protocols for Ado Ekiti State. So I just have to leave somebody there to stand in for me so that I can be here today. We all know what engineering is. What's engineering? It's a profession that puts power and materials to work for man. Once a scientific principle is understood, the next thing is we are speaking engineering. And for that to come in place, all of us here must have known that if we want to go for engineering, we have to be practical in some areas. And it's the application of scientific principles to the optional conversion, natural resources from what we plan to do to our expected goal. Using machines, product systems, and the likes. We have many branches of engineering. We have petroleum, aerospace, agric, biomedical, chemical, civil, computer, mechanical, and I have to mention mechatronics as well, being the father of engineering. What is food security? What is food security? In this presentation, we will clarify and define the concept of food security. We will also examine what is unique about a food security approach to decision making and achieving development objectives. Another thing we have to talk about is nutrition security. That's the provision of an environment that encourages and motivates society to make food choices consistent with short and long-term good health. For example, people used to talk about one adage in Yoruba about women, that women can use food to do what? To get someone's husband. Do you agree with me? If a woman wants to really enjoy home, she should be able to cook very well. If there's any problem at home, by the time the man gets to the table and sees the favorite food, everything will just vanish. Amen. So, for food, it goes a long way. But before we can say we want to have food at home, many things must have come to play. How will you define food security? Why food security is a multidimensional concept, we usually specialize in addressing one aspect of the larger food security problem. It is useful to step back from our own personal experience and examine the multidimensional nature of the food security concept. You could see that there are two major things in life. Every year, occasions. One is Christmas, and that one is what? New Year. And we attach something to that Christmas. One particular food. What is it? Rice. Thank you very much. Rice and what? And chicken. No rice and chicken, no Christmas. In fact, our kids would like to see that. Look at those boys. One was busy with the parameters on the table. The middle one was trying to focus, should I move to left or right? Because they had just two plates there. While the one on the left extreme there was looking at the camera. Among the three, who do you think is a glutton among them? Can you see? It means we can use food to attract children or kids. In Oyo State, or let me say Osun State, this time around, the APC government, they use something to cajole people. What is it? They said, oh food, oh yes, oh everything, oh nonsense. You see, thank you very much. You could see that when people hear that we are going to give your children food, they will vote, not minding the cost implication, whether it's a good food or bad one. So, food goes a long way in making man to survive. Next, please. Food security exists when all people at all times have physical and economic access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious food that meets their dietary needs and food preferences for an active and healthy life. When you see everybody outside today, for example, look at my powerful VC. No matter the condition, you know that it's well fed. Can you see that? So, with that, I was driving one day in my car. The policeman saw me. They said, yes. Where's your Oga? I look at the back. You know what? They thought I was a driver because of my stature. I'm not all that well fed. So, I'm talking about what you get from food. Okay? It doesn't matter, maybe you are slim, tall, or fat. The value you get from food depicts what comes out of your brain. Can you get what I'm saying, please? So that is why, no matter what the case might be, we have to make sure food security is well dealt with. This definition introduces four main dimensions of food security. One is physical availability of food. Secondly, economic and physical access to food. The third one is food utilization. And finally, stability of the other three dimensions over time. Physical availability of food. Food availability addresses the supply side of food security and is determined by the level of food production, stock levels, and net trade. When we say food availability, it is not what we consume we are talking about. If there's a problem at the farm where they produce food, then it will transcend to the market and then it will affect every home. For example, there was one war in the olden days, maybe Second World War in Nigeria, I don't know, because I'm just under 30 by my age. The war was like between Yoruba and the Igbo people or something. They were talking about saying there was no salt. So people were exchanging salt for other materials. If you have cloth, you give them cloth, they give you salt. So during that period of time, it now extended to some other food materials. So, which means food security can be viewed from the angle of food availability. If it's not available, then there might be a problem. You will see these days that maybe that was like the last maybe 2 or 3 years ago. There was this woman was cooking. If she put soup on the stove, she now went inside. Before she came back, somebody took away the pot, the whole pot. Why? Because of starvation. And somebody was even trying to make eba. Someone else said, if you are making eba, it means you have another thing to use to eat. So why can't I take that gari and soak it? Can you see the level of poverty, how it transcends to human being? So, the second point on the food security is economic and physical access to food. An adequate supply of food at the national or international level does not in itself guarantee household level food security. Concerns about insufficient food access have resulted in a greater policy focus on incomes, expenditure, markets, and prices in achieving food security objectives. If you can say food is, we have access to food, those are parameters. If you have money to buy the food, that is one. If the person selling the food is not economizing it, two. In fact, there was a time they were selling maybe rubber or something in case of rice. You see people eating rubber. There was one kind of a fish that was sold. They put the fish in the fire and it was burning. Rubber was coming off it. Can you see what life is all about? Because of scarcity, or let me say poverty. So people are trying to economize and gain something in return without paying for it. On the third point, food utilization, which is commonly understood as the way the body makes the most of various nutrients in the food. I was discussing about somebody having big stature or small stature. Whatever you can get as value from that food, which is the nutrients, will tell you or will depict what will come out of your brain. There was one program that I watched. They were trying to tell us that you can get something better from somebody's brain if he or she is well fed. You now put two people together, one on the same day. One was well fed, one was not well fed. Eventually, the one that was well fed started crawling ahead of the other one. I've seen somebody, the son, that has about 16 teeth before 1 year. The child grew all the teeth 16 out of 32. That kind of a person, if he should swear for you, then you can't escape it. Because he was well fed. So, and lastly, stability of the other three dimensions over time. Even if your food intake is adequate today, you are still considered to be food insecure if you have inadequate access to food on a periodic basis. risking a deterioration